Hi guys, welcome. We are about to get bombarded with rain from Helene, the hurricane that's about to hit the southern United States. It's expected to come right up into the Kentucky area, and we could get 3 or 4 inches of rain over the next few days. So we're going to go ahead and head out to the garden, see what we can harvest before that hits. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard Kentucky homestead. My name is Kim, and let's see what we can get. Let's go. It is September 25th, and we have quite a lot still growing beautifully in the garden. We have some tomatoes we're going to pick. Go check for some beans, peppers, and okra, squash, and all this stuff. So let's get going. So let's see if we have any green beans. These are a really late planted crop. We have a lot of flowers, but alas. Oh, there's one. We got a bean. Got a few, they're just starting. I planted these really late. So I got a little bit. We do have beans in a few other places, so we'll check those as we go. And it is late April, so we're getting a whole lot of wear and tear on the garden. We're getting a lot of powdery mildew and all the other stuff. I don't think we have any squash in here. We have a lot of tomatoes though. So this thing here is my tomato plant that was supposed to be flowers. There was the wrong seed in the packet. It's insanely big, and there's a lot of tomatoes in there, even more flowers. The bloom's likely, it is a small cherry type tomato, so they could set. But it's kind of late. We've only got maybe a month left before our first frost. So we do have a few that are ripening down here. I'm going to go ahead and grab them. Otherwise they might split. Because once a tomato gets to this point, the skin becomes rigid, and if it gets too much water, it just breaks apart. It just splits it open. So we'll go ahead and grab those. But this plant is absolutely loaded with them. These are my fall tomatoes. So I started those seeds indoors in May, planted them out in July. Got some algae growing here. This is how much rain we've had just in the last couple of days. It's been super wet. We went from drought to almost getting too much rain. Got a beautiful rudbeckia. Check for some green beans over here. If there's any other tomatoes. Don't see anything. We have some dahlias. So I ended up planting stuff just willy-nilly almost towards the latter part of the season. So I've got green beans and dahlias and tomatoes, squash on the other side. So everything's just all mixed up, trying to create a really good permaculture type situation. I've got flowers within the beds. I had squash in here. Initially I had onions in here, and then I put some squash in here, and then I put eggplant in here, and just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, just everywhere. Let's see. Got some tomatoes in here. Big one. Oh, that's unfortunate. Something's been chewing on that. See if it's usable. So something I read online just in the last couple of days is that snapdragons are a really good deterrent for slugs. I want to give it a try next year, because if that works, that would be awesome. So instead of using slug bait, you could just go ahead and use snapdragons, which will draw on the pollinators. But there's a chemical apparently in the snapdragons that is not good for the slugs, and actually it will keep them away. And the article said to actually plant it in your flower beds around your yard perimeter, and in your raised beds and everything. So I can do that. Oh, that's a nice, that almost looks like grapes. You see that? Crap. Tomatoes definitely have a lot of wear and tear on them at this point, but we're still getting nice fruit from them. This has been, I don't know what it is because it was the wrong seed. The label either got mixed up or the seeds got mixed up. Had a lot of that this year. The seeds were not in the right pockets. But this is a wonderfully acidic, really, really great tasting cherry tomato. I don't know what it is, but I wish it did. I thought this was a bush bean. Apparently it is not. It is a pole bean. It is absolutely beautiful purple flowers on it. But it is finally making beans. Look how pretty that leaf is. Oh my goodness. It's a little small. I'm going to go ahead and grab it because the rain could mess that up. So we got a little squash. Okra is definitely on its last legs, but I'm still getting as much of it as I can. What I've found is that freeze drying this okra is delicious. It is a really, really low calorie snack that really takes the place of potato chips, like with your lunch with a sandwich or something. It's amazing. Tastes just like fried okra, but it has that crunch and that satisfaction of a crunchy chip. So, kind of glad I've planted so much okra, but I've got a lot of it. I will not plant the hillbilly okra. I'll show you why. Squash bug. These things get massive. Actually, let's just go break it. So these things get massive and really woody really fast. So the hillbilly okra I would not recommend. The Clemson spineless and the long pod Perkins, beautiful. Hillbilly okra, I'm not going to grow again. But we have quite a few here to grab. Looks like we got another little squash. So this is another squash that I did not have the seed for. It's a yellow squash. It looks possibly like the chiffon squash, but I didn't have that seed before, so. I had a lot of stuff like that this year. The eggplant, I think I'm going to leave for now. Phew. Got a lot of mosquitoes going on. So I'm going to break that off. It's bad shape. Grab these tomatoes. Black cherry tomato. Love it. Not seeing anything. We do have some patty pan squash, but it is grown in there, but it is very small. Got some little Jack be little pumpkins. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it because the vine is dying. But they're teeny tiny. But honestly, I'm lucky I got anything with the squash vine borer issues I've had. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. And this one as well. So we got a micro pumpkin. Another little one that's got some damage on it, but it still works. Finally getting some of the tomatillos. I've actually harvested several. There's one there. There's two there. There's a few more, just a couple there. And I had never had tomatillos before, and I wasn't sure about them, but they're actually extremely sweet, very, very tasty. They're absolutely loaded with fruit. I think I'm going to go ahead and take these. They're a little early. These are Advarsky, so usually they would turn red. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick. Pretty tomato. And if you pick tomatoes, there is a notch partway up the stem. There's like a little knuckle, and if you break it there and keep the stem on there as often as possible, the tomatoes will last longer. If you guys have ever grown purple hull beans or any kind of cowpea bean, I grew some drying beans. Now I've had a couple of different things happen. This one here, you think, you know, it's getting close to being dry, but it's like it's gone. Did this just not pollinate? Or should I have picked it when it was more like this? Do you wait for it to completely dry out, or did it just not pollinate right? If you guys have an idea, let me know, because I've never done this before, and I'm really confused about when I should be picking these. Because I seem to have a really, really nice bean, and then I come back later on, and then I have this shriveled husk that has nothing in it. But these are purple hull beans. I've got some lima beans. I don't know. It's supposed to be kidney beans, I think. So we'll go ahead and pull these off. Cabbage is actually looking pretty good. I didn't think it was going to make it. So out of those three, this is the only one that I'll be able to use. So a lot of okra for next year, really, but I really don't want to leave it out in the rain. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that. Actually, just take the whole vine. I'm going to let it finish drying on the vine. These are awesome. This is Millennium Garlic. Seems to have really helped keep some of the pests away. North Georgia Candy Roaster. I had one before and it split, or it started to rot. I'm going to go ahead and take this one too. The plant is dying. I'm going to go ahead and break it. So next week I'm going to get a lot of my perennials planted and get the flower beds finished. They're really, really close, and I was planning to do it this weekend, but with the amount of rain, there's no way. We probably won't even be able to work outside. Oh, something's eating that one. Tomatoes. Got a cucumber. Not a big cucumber, but I got a cucumber. I got a pepper that is starting to go bad, so I grabbed it too. So not a bad haul for September 25th. We have 2 yellow squash, we have some green beans, a little bit of basil, a bunch of hot peppers, eggplant, 3 butternut squash, a candy roaster, a variety of sweet peppers, some okra, tomatoes, 3 itty bitty pumpkins, and my one and only cucumber. So not bad. So thank you guys for joining me. I think we had an amazing harvest for September 25th. I didn't expect this much, but I wanted to get as much of it in before the rains come this next few days from the hurricane, residual of rain. But we'll get this in to cure. We will freeze dry the okra and probably the peppers. And then I'll be canning up the tomatoes in a variety of recipes. And like I said, I got a Meals in a Jar recipe book off of Amazon. It has some amazing sounding recipes in it. Very excited about trying that, and I will share that with you as we make those. So until the next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye.